Thanks for the support as a channel member, Firesoul. Oh, boys and girls, what a difference it makes when your players aren't being grisly gooses. Millet has actually decided he wants to stay at the club after all, so we've extended his contract for 5 years. We've extended Omar's contract, Fowry's contract. We've got Nguema and Milinkovic tied down to loans again for next season. Financially, things are looking good. The squad is looking good. Everybody's happy. And believe it or not, with all that going on, form has started to turn around as well. So we're going into our final 2 games of the season with a real chance of getting back into Europe again. After a very, very turbulent season, it might actually all work out okay in the end. Hello and welcome to part 63 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have those final 2 games of the season at home against Lyon, away against Marseille. They are 2 teams above us in the league, but that offers no fear for us anymore because we are all of a sudden in good form again. We beat Lille, we beat Lens, we beat Lorient. We're off the back of 3 straight wins, which means we do sneak back into the European qualification spot. 7th place, 52 points on the board. We're not, I mean, it's mathematically impossible for us to get back into the Champions League again. But if we get a couple of results here, we should get into Europe of some flavour. I'm not sure which of these are Europa League, which are Conference League. If it's like the Premier League, I guess 5th and 6th of Europa League, 7th is Conference League. I mean, Conference League, we absolutely should win. We won that with Leamington on stream with a team not close to the level of this team. So that might be quite a fun one to play in. But obviously, we need to make sure it's one that Omar and his buddies are happy to play in. Although that being said, as mentioned in the intro, we have gone around and given new contracts to all these boys who are now happy to stay at the club. The big 3, the 3 golden jewels in the crown, Millet, Omar, Fowry, all tied down for new 5-year contracts. Yes, on big money, but they're 5-year contracts that should mean none of them leave this summer, regardless of what happens. We also gave Travis Mankdalo a new contract, who, of course, is one of our other hot prospects. They're probably the big 4 that we've got at the moment. Milinkovic is in on loan for another year with a lower optional future fee this time, so we can bring him in for £8 million. And Nguema's in and on loan again. Xavier Alonso joins us permanently as another option at the back, as does Benavides. Finances, it does mean we've spent a lot of next season's budget already, but to be fair, going into next season with a budget of 4.2 million is still 4.2 million pounds more than we had this season. So even that, with all those transfers and contracts already secured, to have 4.2 million pounds to spend, we'll just adjust this budget, is phenomenal as far as I'm concerned. Things are looking up. What we do need to do is make sure that we are in Europe to celebrate it. Or else we'll just, if we don't get into Europe, we'll just win the league next year. You know how this works in football. We probably won't win the league. We could try to. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, though. We do still need to win these final 2 games. First up are Lyon. Lyon, of course, who we did steal these 2 boys off of. So they're probably still bitter and still in with a chance of getting into the Champions League. A win here for us, and we can ruin Lyon's Champions League qualification for 2 years running. That would be stealing their 2 best young players in a generation and keeping them out of the Champions League 2 years in a row. There's few things I love more than upsetting Lyon. So this is our team. Prevo in goal, a back 4 of Kumbedi, Say, Matsima and Frey. Thomas at the base of the midfield. Vaquero and Fowry ahead of him. Milinkovic is suspended today. That's why he's not involved. We've then got Millet on the left, and Nguema on the right, and Afkir Omar, of course, up front. Millet has magically started playing well again now that he's happy to be here. He just randomly decided a couple of games ago that he was happy after all. I think the thing that did it, I say he randomly decided, I think what actually pushed him over the edge was when we extended Milinkovic's loan for another year. That got confirmed, and then almost immediately Millet was happy with the squad depth at the team. I don't know why signing Milinkovic in the first place didn't do it. Maybe a 6-month loan wasn't enough, but securing him for next year as well, all of a sudden he's happy with the squad depth. He's no longer unhappy that we've been playing him out of position either, because he was unhappy about 2 things, our squad depth and me playing him on the left wing rather than up front. He's dropped them both, signed his new contract, and then all of a sudden started playing well again. So what a difference players' morale and happiness makes in Football Manager. I think we probably all knew that was a big difference maker in FM over the last few years anyway, but Millet really has demonstrated it this season. And I do wonder if we'd have been able to keep him happy, how differently our season might have gone with some of those struggles, those ups and downs that we've had along the way. But ultimately, although we have had some tough moments this season, some moments where I was quite literally tearing my hair out, if we end up qualifying back for Europe again, with all of these boys committed to new contracts and tied down at the club and the new signings coming in, this has been a fantastic season. We were never supposed to get back in the Champions League again. We were never supposed to be in the Champions League last year. What a saving tackle that was, I think, from Kumbedi, with a goal line clearance, a match-saving tackle. Wonderful stuff from him, and it keeps it at 0-0. It's absolutely pouring down with rain here in Tours as well. But as it stands at the moment, we are all but guaranteed a spot in Europe. I'm not sure what's going on with Lille. Lille are losing 2-0 at Rennes, who are above us in the league. So not particularly likely to get back into it. So that leaves a 3-point gap. And Nguema's just had a header that has been clawed away by the goalkeeper. Matsima now is in, but his header goes over as well. But as it stands, we have that 3-point gap between us and 8th place. I need to check what the goal difference situation is. But first, Cyril Fowry is going to try and do a Fowry special. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper is equal to it once again and pushes it wide. Their goalkeeper is having a very good game today, and I don't care for it. Thomas now with the corner, looking for that far post, and it just eludes everybody. And now we can look at the goal difference. So we actually have a slightly worse goal difference than Lille. So ideally, we pick up a late goal here and grab the win, and a win here should guarantee us Europe of some flavour. And then we'll just be pushing for Europa League on the last day. Of course, if we let Lyon in here, then they are still alive in the Champions League hunt, and we are going into that final day of the season pretty nervous. It's a corner now for Lyon. 25 minutes to go. Millet is there at the far post, a head clear. Lovely stuff from him. But once again, it's a Lyon highlight. We were dominating the game for quite a long time, but now Lyon getting back into it again, and I'm not sure what Prévost has done there. He's just kind of flapping his arms around pretty aimlessly. I've asked some questions about Prévost in recent matches, about whether the rest of the team has potentially outgrown him, as great as he's been. And we're starting to see, I mean, that's another example of it. He's not even attempted to save that. He's just kind of flapped his arms, and his arms aren't even together. It's poor from him. And with £4 million to spend in a squad that I'm pretty happy with now, yeah, we'd still love to get a real top-level centre-back, but such a thing doesn't seem to exist. So let's not get too married to the idea of doing that. Let's focus on improving areas that we can improve. And I wonder if goalkeeper is maybe one of those areas for us now. We're just going to shuffle the defence around a little bit. There you go. We've made a few changes. Going into the final 10 minutes, Millet does get to go up front. Benavides and De Girolamo supporting him. That is the strength and depth that we've got in this team now. It is lovely to see. I mean, even comparing it to the start of the season, we didn't have this kind of strength and depth. Bringing in the extra players like Benavides, like Milinkovic. We are adding key players in key areas, so the substitutions don't massively weaken us anymore. And Fowry, with close to an open goal, has ballooned that over the crossbar, and now things are looking a little bit scary again on that league table. We are level on points with Lorient, who are picking up a win by the looks of it currently, and it's going to leave us with a lot to do away to Marseille on the last day. But Millet is in here, fires it straight at their goalkeeper, who's had an outstanding match. What a difference the goalkeepers have made to today's game. Theirs has been fantastic. Ours has really only had one thing to do and didn't do it. Thomas with the in-swinger again, and it's cleared again. And that is the end of the match. And that is disappointing. Off the back of 3 straight wins, to be so infuriating against Lyon. And it's piling the pressure on for that last day. We've got to go to Marseille and get a result now. Probably a win, looking at what's been going on around us. We'll look at the league table quickly now. But I think we actually have to go to Marseille and win against a team who are all but in the Champions League already. So it's going to be a tall order. Yeah, level on points with Lorient. I'm not sure who they play on the last day. But Marseille, we could actually, having been in a position where we could ruin Lyon's year again, we could actually be the team that allow Lyon into the Champions League now. Because if we go to Marseille and beat them while Lyon win, they will leapfrog up over Marseille. So Marseille are going to have all the motivation in the world to ruin our fun, which is not ideal. I thought that was telling us we were going to be in the Europa League there, but no, it wasn't. Is that an extra spot, or no? It's still just those 7. Okay. Guess we need to go and beat Marseille. Well, here we go then, folks. The Marseille game, just a one change. Milinkovic no longer suspended. He's back in again for Vaquero, who drops down to the bench. I am not expecting this to go well, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. We've had such an up and down season that I imagine there's going to be a couple of twists in this story yet. Lorient, who are our closest challengers, are playing Lille, who are also able to go above us. My word. Okay, so we need those two to draw while we don't lose, and that's enough for us to get in the Conference League. If we still have aspirations of the Europa League, obviously we need the win, and Millet has turned his man there and run it a little bit wide. I'm not really sure what the plan was. The plan was give it to Afkir Omar, who's got his 29th goal of the season, and that is a pretty decent start to this match. Marseille are going to be fuming. Obviously, as mentioned before, if Marseille lose, Lyon could leapfrog over them into the Champions League. So they could get the benefit of Omar and Millet signing for us after all, because that's exactly what is going to happen as it stands. Rennes, who are above us, we need them to lose. They are losing to Paris Saint Germain. So actually, it would appear, I guess with a goal swing, we could move up into the Europa League. So we need PSG to absolutely thump Rennes while we nab a few goals here against Marseille. I mean, we're probably getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. The goal here is Conference League, I think. Getting to Europe of any flavour, and that will be fine. But Say gives it to Milinkovic, and now Nguema. Back to Milinkovic again. We're keeping the ball nicely, just trying to carve out a little bit of space for somebody, and the space has fallen to Milinkovic, who, I mean, he gives it to Millet, and somehow it ends up with Cyril Fowry dinking it over the goalkeeper. I'm not really sure how he even ended up with the ball there. Millet had it, and then what's gone on from there? So Thomas to Fowry, Milinkovic. Millet's got it. It bounces off the defender, and Fowry is first to react, dinks it over the top of the goalkeeper. We're 2-0 up. We need to see what PSG are doing to Rennes, because we might be able to backdoor Kevit into the Europa League here if things go our way. We're still in 7th place, but there's now only 1 goal in it on the goal difference. Either us or PSG need to score a goal, and I think, assuming I understand the rules, which is, I mean, it's a wild assumption for anybody to make, that could lead to us sneaking into the Europa League. I can hear the comment section now telling me if we'd have gone and defended against Paris Saint Germain when we lost 7-1, we'd already be there. We wouldn't have a problem anymore. But you know what? I don't want to hear it. If we'd have defended against other teams, we might have not picked up points we did pick up. Who knows? If we've through by hook or by crook, we've managed to get through this season and come out of it with a very strong looking team. That is terrible from Prevost again. And yeah, he's done. Priority number 1 this summer is a new goalkeeper, because yeah, that is pathetic. Why is he playing it? Why not just kick it out into touch, lump it up the pitch? Why play it back across the goal that you know full well you're not stood in because you're there kicking the ball? I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. He was so great when we first brought him in. I think we've outgrown him. It shows how quickly we're developing as a club. We've outgrown what was our best player when we brought him in, and he is now a long way from being our best player. Right, we shuffle the defence. We're going to bring on Vaquero as well, push Milinkovic further forward. Millet is tired, so Benavides can come on for him, and we just hope that we cling on here. What's going on behind us? Lille are beating Lorient, which I think is good for us, because Lille can only catch us if we lose. And at the moment, with 15 minutes to go, we are still winning. Although Marseille are in here, and Prevost this time does actually make a save. He's remembered he's allowed to use his hands, which is quite the novelty. but it is a Marseille corner, and every time the ball comes near our goal, I am a little bit nervy based on how things have been going with our goalkeeper recently. But we get away with it again there. I want to check in on... See, Rennes have now scored against PSG. The goal difference gap is starting to grow again. I don't think Europa League is going to be for us. We wanted to be in the Conference League anyway. It's where the cool kids hang. We've made our final 2 substitutions as well. I don't even know what to shout from the touchline in this situation. Just, I'm really afraid. Erling Haaland has scored for PSG. Really, we need another goal, and then I think there still needs to be another 2-goal swing. So we need to score. They need to score again, and that might just give us that final twist of this season and let us into the Europa League. But I mean, we're not going to score with these kind of antics, are we? Matsima now, time to turn, finds Vaquero, and now Milinkovic, who's playing just in front of the back 4 now after the substitutions have gone through. And Girolamo plays it into Omar, who again has run it wide, but finds Benavides, and his shot goes wide. He is he's something of an enigma, Benavides. He looks great sometimes, and then that happens. He's certainly unlikely to ever be a regular starter for us, which is just as well. We brought him in to replace Millet if he left, but now Millet's not leaving. He'll be fine coming off the bench across the front 3. I wouldn't want to have to rely on him. I think the same goes for Di Girolamo. Right, we have qualified for Europe of some flavour. We don't yet know until all the scores come in, whether it's Europa League or Conference League. And to be fair, we haven't even checked the rules. So I'm even giving me my final league position. I won't be sure until I see the little letters. But we're just waiting for the game to save, and then we'll be able to see that final league table and find out where we've ended up. So we've finished 7th, which I think means Conference League. It was 1 goal in it in the end. 1 goal between the Conference League and the Europa League. I assume. There you go. There's your confirmation. Euro Cup 2, the Europa Conference League, as we call it, and we've been given £8 million as well, which is very nice. And there's your confirmation. We are in the Conference League next season, which, like I say, we should win that. Our goal for next year, I think, has to be win the Conference League and get back in the Champions League. I just want to have a look at who some of the recent winners of the Conference League are to give us a little bit of context. Rennes, out of our league. Man United, Lille, out of our Nice. There's a lot of French clubs winning that recently. Leeds, Inter. I mean, so sometimes you do get a Man United or an Inter in there, but most of the time it's a Leeds, a Nice, a Lille, a Rennes. We should be winning it. It's going to be Real Hispalis or Everton. Who are they? I can never remember. Is that Real Sociedad? I can never remember who Real Hispalis are. You'll probably let me know down in the comment section. But we're in Europe, boys and girls. And most importantly, as of right now, nobody's really upset about the fact it's not the Champions League. So fingers crossed that situation is maintained. I'm not sure how many seasons we'll get away with no Champions League football and still keep the likes of Omar happy. He's got 1 negative. That's fine. It's not one about Champions League. Because remember, he only joined us because we qualified for the Champions League. It looks like at the moment, he's still happy to stay. And frankly, if he had a moan about it, my response to him would be, you're missing a few goals this season, Afkir, compared to last year. You've dropped off just a little bit. One could argue it was all your fault. But we have a big summer ahead of us, and that, of course, will be Monday's video. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.